Greetings. I wanted to take this opportunity to talk about the impeachment inquiry that has occurred or is occurring in Washington with respect to President Biden. Now, I'm not going to talk about the evidence or anything that has been presented because the purpose of this stream is to address something a little bit different with respect to the impeachment inquiry, and that is the fact that if, and I know that many Americans watched the hearing probably, and if they did, they would have noticed something very important that occurred at the beginning, and this is the issue that I want to touch on because I don't think many people really paid attention to it or to the severity that it entails. And that is the fact that in the beginning of the hearing, the first few minutes of the hearing, there were a couple of points of order that were made by two committee members. They were Democrats. I won't deny that. But the fact of the matter isn't their political stance, but it is the legitimacy of those points of order. Because these points of order, if you refer to the House rules make these points of order so very, very legitimate and important that they cannot, in good conscience, be overlooked. The first point of order that was made was that an impeachment inquiry, as you know, has to be authorized by a 2/3 or full vote of the U.S. House, subject to somebody introducing a resolution requesting it, or that did not happen. There was no resolution presented before the House, and the House did not vote on approving an impeachment inquiry. Now, that rule is very important because that rule specifies that the House itself is the entity that can authorize that type of hearing. The Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy, does not have that authority unless somebody motions to change the rule to allow him that authority. I say that because it was Speaker McCarthy that authorized the hearing. Okay, he authorized the hearing so that these committees could look into the possibility of impeaching or requesting an impeachment of President Joe Biden. Now, this is the dilemma, and I bring this to you for your opinion and your insight. The thing is this: since there was no legal authorization for this impeachment inquiry, it puts this specific I want to say congressional, but it's a specific procedure in the House in dire jeopardy. Dire jeopardy because since there was no definite authorization for this hearing, that means that everything that is being revealed in this hearing, everything that's being presented, the conclusions and everything that is being drawn up, it's all in a legal jeopardy because, and let's suppose this, that at the end of this inquiry, it's decided, okay, we want to draw up articles of impeachment and we want to begin the process to impeach the president. That has to come before a vote in the House. It will only take a point of order, parliamentary inquiry, or a motion before the House to dismiss the dismiss the resolution, or to dismiss the contents of this inquiry as being illegitimate because it was not duly authorized. And see, you can very well see there the jeopardy and the crisis that this hearing, or this impeachment inquiry is under. If this is dismissed or nullified, then obviously everything that was done is null and void and would no longer be valid towards an impeachment, because the process was not followed. Now, I seem to think, and I pose this supposition to you because I believe that there exists a possibility that this may be what actually happened. And that is that I believe that Speaker McCarthy knew all of this and purposely authorized the hearing himself, knowing full well that it would not be legitimate. I say this because there was a statement that McCarthy made a while back that said that an impeachment inquiry without a full House vote, or 2/3 of a full House vote on a resolution, is null and void of legitimacy and validity, I believe is what he said. I don't know the exact wording of it, but more or less. But suffice it to say, it leads me to believe that Speaker McCarthy may be aware of this, and because of the situation that he was in, being pressured in authorizing this, knowing full well that if he didn't, he would lose his position as Speaker, he opted to do it, knowing, okay, either way, if I authorize it, it's not going to be valid in the end because I cannot authorize this, and the House has to authorize it by vote. Now, this puts an interesting kibosh on this impeachment inquiry for that reason, and it really questions the validity and the legitimacy of it going forward. I'm reminded of the impeachment process for Attorney General Ken Paxton in Texas. The House, from what many people have said, the House did not follow correct procedure, and it was because of this that more than likely the Senate voted to acquit the Attorney General on the impeachment charges because correct procedure was not followed in the Texas House. So, I mean, this is not the first time that this has been seen, but from what I can tell by these 2 points of order that were made and the way this all is coming about, it makes this entire impeachment process, or impeachment inquiry process, very questionable, possibly illegitimate and invalid because of the lack of the authorization. Well, we'll have to wait and see, because we won't know until the end, when all this is said and done and they bring forth their presentation to the full House for a vote on the articles of impeachment, whether or not we'll see that point of order or that parliamentary inquiry or motion to dismiss on technical grounds, because of this technicality is what it is. And as you know, the U.S. House, just as the U.S. Senate, they have to follow rules and procedures. If they don't follow them, then these procedures can be invalidated because of technicalities. And this is what is concerning about this impeachment inquiry, is the fact that it's missing these crucial, important steps of legitimacy to make this an important and urgent matter. Well, that's my straight up thoughts on this, and I'm open to comments and input as to what you would think in respect to this specific situation. There are a lot of people that are commenting and talking about, the impeachment process is presenting this and this evidence and this and that evidence and so forth, and they're making it sound really legitimate, but they're not necessarily paying attention to the crucial jeopardizing moments that occurred at the beginning of the hearing that put the perspective on this whole impeachment inquiry into a unquestionable and possibly illegitimate status. So we'll have to wait and see what happens when this is all said and done, because it's going to be very interesting to see what the turnaround is. I would think that maybe this is going to end up dying or perishing on the House floor because of the fact that correct protocols were not followed at the beginning of this whole scenario. We'll have to wait and see. Well, thank you for your attention and thank you for your time. Have a good evening, afternoon, or morning whenever you see this. I'm going to leave it recorded on my Twitter because I found this very interesting and I wanted to bring it to y'all's attention because it is very concerning and it is very important as well. So thank you very much.